Hello, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a great night. So, I just finished up with some work and I've got a little bit of energy left. And so, I thought I'd sit down and react to Sunburst Tarot's newest reading on Foodie Beauty. And this one has to do with Chantal's family. So, everybody's been wondering, like, how is the family doing? How are they feeling about Chantal? Well, we're about to find out, courtesy of Sunburst Tarot. And there is Queen Booger behind me. Booger. Hi, baby. Hi, Queen Booger. What you do, baby? Look at the girl. Queen Booger is always supervising what I do, making sure that I do it right. Hey, baby. And you, baby, look at you, baby. Look at you, baby. Look at you. Scratch, scratch, scratch. All right, so we're going to get some interesting insight from Sunburst Tarot. And for those of you that never heard of Sunburst Tarot, I encourage you to look down below in the description for the original link for the original video. I will leave it there. You can check out all of Sunburst Tarot's content. Maybe sub up to her, give her a like, and hope you guys enjoy. So, with that said, how about we just get into it because it's a nice long reading here, a lot of information. And again, I hope you guys enjoy. Now, let me just blow this up real quick. There we go. And off we go. And I hope you guys like it.
Without further ado, I just want to take a look into what's kind of going on with Foodie and how is she feeling about her sister, her stepfather. How is she kind of feeling about the rest of her family outside of her mother? But first things first, reminder, everything that I'm saying is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. No facts here, y'all, just my opinions, psychic downloads, and the such. So, if you want to use what I'm saying to help form your own thoughts, opinions, and conclusions, please do so. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So, with that, let's get into today's reading on just the general energy of how does Foodie feeling about the rest of her family outside of her mother, her direct family, the ones that she kind of grew up with, the world. She's trying to hide everything about her from them. Why is this? Because she's out of control. She wants to control the narrative. She wants to be a dictator. She wants to be this. She wants to be that. She wants to have everything. But she, on her throne of lies, is just hiding everything that she can. Because from a material sense, she wants everyone to see her as I'm the best. Got the Gucci. I got the collars. I've got everything. I've got the money. I've got everything that I could possibly want. I'm living this jet-setting life.
Yet, Foodie places herself above her family. That's how she looks at her family, like, I am better than everybody in my family. She wants to be the star. She wants to be the performer, the entertainer. Like, I don't know. I just, the feeling that I'm getting from Foodie is like she thinks she's better than the family. That's, she's not proud of where she's from, where she grew up, where she was born. Like, how many times we heard from Foodie saying, like, looking down on Cornwall and Ottawa, and it's like, Foodie, you grew up there. How? Why are you not proud of where you grew up? Why are you not proud of your family? But she actually thinks she's better than everyone that she's related to.
Because the hopes and fears is that I'm going to be this lovely person. I feel stable. I feel secure. I don't need anybody else around me. There's also a sense here of as long as I can convince mom, then I can convince the rest of you that I'm okay because mom seems to be the glue that holds this family together. The unseen obstacle though to this is that she's just putting on a giant false show. Her hands are tied behind her back. She is the one who is being controlled by other people and it's just a show. It's just a puppet. She's not the puppeteer, she is the puppet, and that's the unseen obstacle for her is that when it comes to her and her family she's just putting on a show for everybody when in reality she's got nothing to her name because the negative influence is that she wants to be seen as this married woman. She wants to be seen as successful and committed and this religious individual, and she's the leader of all these people and everyone loves her. However, what's going for her is that she's so inconsistent and emotionally immature, as well as kind of a little bit all over the place, that people are seeing through her fantasy, through the falsity. Again, that's the world. I'm putting on a show. I'm projecting what I want you to see, not how I truly feel. truly am. However, there are lots of pieces of her that get put out there that they all see, that they all know. And so she can't pull the wool over their eyes because here in the past, yeah, I played one way and then I'm going to another. Again, it feels like a lot of this is I play it up for them, but in reality, I really play it up for mom, who then tells everybody else what's going on. But here in the future, she's trying to manifest, she's trying to bring forth new ideas. I feel like she's also trying to weave a story of I got this, I've got that, and everything in between. It's like
And I just have this to say, Chantal. Chantal, do you think your mother is a complete fool? Do you think you have your mother completely fooled? Are you not giving credit to your mom for being a little bit older than you? Maybe a little bit wiser? You don't think your own mother sees through you? She does. She sees a lot more than you think. I mean, she's not a complete idiot. The fact that she's not confronting you on everything she knows doesn't mean she doesn't know it. You are her daughter. She loves you. And all mothers hope that their children go out into the world and are successful and healthy and balanced and stable and have the best in life. All parents want that for their children. And that's what your mother has always hoped for you, to be happy and to have things. And nothing makes her more sad than seeing you completely broken and messed up and just not living a happy life. You may be surrounded by things, but those things don't make you happy. And there's a lot of broken pieces in you that need to be put back together. But unfortunately, your family can't do that for you. This is something that you've got to do the work on. But don't think for a minute that your mom is a complete fool. She's older, she's a little bit wiser, she's been there and she's done that with a lot of things, and she knows more than you think.
she's like, I have to try and convince myself to convince others of what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, because it's like, yeah, mom has this story and I just got to convince mom and then the rest of y'all will follow in suit. Will follow in line how I want you to act and move. She's like she's got a chip on her shoulder that she needs to prove something to everybody, especially in her family, especially the people that she I think don't believe in her.
Yeah, what is this grudge that you're holding against your family, Chantal? What is this chip on your shoulder? What is that? What's the name of it? How did it even get started? Why is it that you feel that you have to be better than everyone in your family? What is that? Why can't you just be part of the family? Why are you walking around with this attitude of it's not enough to be part of a family and be part of something? You want to also be above something, like you're some kind of higher quality or better than everyone else in your family. Like this, what kind of attitude is this?
That's the general vibe that she has with them. So, outside of mom. So, let's take a look here in just a general sense. I'm going to pull.
Like it's almost like a snobby attitude, like a snobby girl attitude, like I'm too good for them. I'm too good for this town. I'm too good for Cornwall and Ottawa. Girl, you're not too good for anything. Get a hold of yourself.
Full spread for each one. So I want to take a look in how is she kind of feeling about her? What's going on between her and her sister, Nat? So let's take a look there. What's kind of going on between Chantal and her sister, Nat? What's going on here? How are these two? So we have Chantal, we have Nat, Chantal, we have Nat, we have the energy in between the two of them. Oh my Atlanta. Chantal, I think, is trying to reach out to Natalie to see if she can get in the good graces of mom, but Nat's not falling for it. Nat sees right through right through the shit. Seeing this card here also with the third eye, Natalie's third eye, she's like, I'm seeing through the bullshit. I'm seeing this love. Kind of interesting, right? She's like, yeah, I see you pouring into one, into the other, one into the other. She sees right through this falsity, through this relationship that it seems like Chantal is trying to reach out. So she's trying to reach out through Nat to get to mom, to get everybody on her side. However, these two don't see eye to eye. They are not committed. They are not in a good relationship. They're she's like, I don't want to see you. I don't want to be near you. Why is this? Because these two have just always fought. They cannot get along. It's a lose lose situation. Someone's always trying to defend and someone's always trying to take. Because from a material influence as well, the Ten of Wands reversed. This is like, you're a burden. You're a burden, and we just want to let go of you. Nat's like, I don't want you anymore in my life. You don't bring anything to it. Why should I want you in my life? I think Nat's at the point of, I really don't care. Because Chantal wants to build up a relationship with Natalie. It's like, this is my in. This is my in. I can take advantage. I can manipulate. I can get through. I can get in through Nat. Nat though is seeing right through Foodie. She's seeing right through this. Oh, I want to be in a. I want to have a relationship with my sister again. Also, if I'm not mistaken, I had heard that Natalie lives with mom and dad in the basement. Allegedly, maybe I'm wrong. And I'm wondering if Foodie's like, hey, what if we did this? Or she might be trying to get an in so she can get that spot in the basement. Because the unseen obstacle here is the King of Swords between the two of this. Is this stepdad? Or is this is like a masculine presence, a figure, King of Swords? I mean, this could be Salah as well. Being like, I see right through your relationship, Chantal. I see right through what you're trying to project out and see X, Y, Z. Like, this is someone legal issues as well. Does Nat know that she's got legal issues as
No.
well? Like potentially coming down. Why do I feel like Natalie also watches Chantal's channel, or at least somebody gives her updates on her sister a lot more than what maybe Chantal realizes? Because the negative influence here, why does it feel like Chantal's offered Natalie, like, if I'll give you this amount of money if you leave?
Well, I don't know if that actually happened, but let's go with maybe it did happen or it's you going somewhere, booger? All right. It wouldn't surprise me if Chantal has offered money to Natalie to move out of the house. Chantal needs a place to stay. So she's looking for a place where her name is not on the lease. We all know that she's got problems with her bankruptcy. She hasn't paid on her bankruptcy. So Chantal is still actively running away from her bankruptcy. So she doesn't want her name on a car. She doesn't want her name on a house or a lease. That's why she's been so desperate to find a co-signer, because with a co-signer, she can perhaps hide a little bit away from the bankruptcy trustee and whatever other legal issues she might have coming down the pike. It's all about hiding and hiding and hiding. She was able to hide in Kuwait. She was able to hide in Syria. But now that she's got to come back to Canada, she really can't hide anymore, but she's still attempting to hide. So again, would it surprise me that she's offered money to Natalie to stay there? No, it wouldn't surprise me at all. But let's think about things, Chantal. Let's just say Natalie wasn't there and your room was open. How would that work? You'd be staying with your parents, but they've already told you that you're not allowed to stream at the house. So that's out. You can't use your parents' residence as a streaming studio. You're also someone that you keep really late hours. Like you're up all night, you sleep all day. Uh, your parents work, so that's not going to work for them if you're keeping them up all night and they can't even sleep. Also, you have a defined history of being a really bad house guest. Really bad. You are not respectful. You don't clean up after yourself. You're a slob. You'd be the kind that would leave dirty dishes in the sink and you would eat all the food. you would not be someone that would be pleasant to be around. And I'm sure your family knows that. And that's why they're like, under no circumstances can you stay here. For what you need to do and for what they need to do, it would not work. So if you're feeling a certain kind of way because your family is saying, no, you can't stay with us, honestly, it wouldn't work anyway, even if you could. So there's no sense in getting mad about that.
Why is she trying to guilt trip her sister? All alleged for entertainment purposes only. Because what's going on? Chantal is trying to get into this space. She's trying to get Natalie out. She's trying to be sneaky. She's trying to be strategic. She's trying everything that she can. Get something on her. Have her move out. Guilt trip her. Manipulate to get Natalie out from where she's ever at in the bottom. I feel like in the basement to get in. Chantal wants that spot. She wants the no rent. Because here in the past, Queen of Cups want to be manipulative, want to be emotionally gaslighting and not do things and being a bitch, essentially. And here in the future, looking at this relationship, I think Natalie and Chantal, I do not believe they should live in the same home, but it does feel like Chantal is trying to get that spot in the home.
Of course she is. She's trying to recreate what she had in Syria. She wants to live somewhere where she doesn't have to pay rent. She doesn't have to pay bills. Someone else's name is on the lease to where she can hide. Considering where Chantal's life is, that would be, optimal from her, but not so much for everybody else in the house. And I keep thinking right now of something that Chantal said, not about her family, but someone else. She said, I just have to get into his house. It's always been a thing with her. I just have to get into his house. Why is it so important for her to get into somebody's house? Well, that's because when she gets into your house, she becomes territorial over space that's not necessarily hers. She wants to get into somebody's space, put her stuff there, and essentially squat like a toad. Once she gets into the house, it's going to be impossible to get her to leave. That's why you can't let her in the house. That's why you can't let her get comfortable in a house, because once she's there, and it's going to be a nightmare to get her to go away. So again, the family's being wise, not letting her stay there.
And Natalie's like, I see you wanting to get that spot in the home. I don't know why you want this so badly. Legal.
She wants the spot in the house so badly because she doesn't want to go to an extended stay and pay $2,000 for a month. And she certainly doesn't want to go to an apartment or a studio and pay that much in rent, even though she's got the money. She just doesn't want to spend the money. In her eyes, paying rent is a waste. Paying for a car is a waste. Like it has to do with adulthood. It has to do with adulting, and she wants nothing to do with it. She expects people around her to bend to her will and take care of her, and then just shoulder the burden of the bills and the rent so that she doesn't have to. And she's 41 years old, and she took a break from adulting, and the break is officially over. And no one's going to take that burden for her. No one can. It's too much of a weight to carry.
Issues. Again, Natalie knows a lot more than what she lets on. Why do I feel like she also is someone who gets information and potentially has people leak it to the community for her? Because here at the bottom of the deck as well, these two, the star, this is bad. This is like bad energy. This is negative energy. This is bad influence. This is also hidden energy. But more or less, this is bad attention, negative attention between the two of them. Someone's always fighting for the spotlight. Someone's like, I want the spotlight finally in my life.
And that's really sad, Chantal, that you have a sister. And rather than say, this is my sister and love your sister, it's all about rivalry. You treat your own sister as some kind of competition. Anything that your sister does, you want to do. Anything your sister has, you also have to have. If your sister has a relationship, then you have to be in a relationship. You're always trying to one up your sister rather than love your sister. Like, why are you in competition with your own blood for?
Hmm. Wow, Chantal. And
You
that's
guys are
Natalie.
crazy.
So I want to then do a quick spread here
I mean,
on.
is the feeling, Chantal, that unless I am better than my sister in some way, or I best my sister in some way, that I am a lesser than person? Because that's not how it works in a family.
These two. So we'll grab dish one out. And then I want to take a look into how does Chantal feel about Natalie? How does Natalie feel about, or Nat feel about Chantal? I just grab 3 cards and away we go. They're meant to come out. They're meant to come out. Oh boy, we got 4. Okay, so let's take a look. See here. How does Chantal feel about Natalie? So 1, La La Land. Pretends to still be in love with each other, lack of intimacy or communication, stays in relationship due to comfort or routine. So feels like Chantal's like, you're my comfort, like you're good, but doesn't really like, nah. She's like, I'm just here, you're okay. Then we have Two-Faced. Pretends in order to lead others on, untrustworthy, insincere, playing a game with others' emotions, strings others along. So seeing this here, man, Chantal seems to be like, Natalie, you're horrible. You tell me one thing and then it's another. She doesn't trust Nat at all. And then the other thing here is negging as well. Makes others prove their worthiness in relationship, insults others on the guise of constructive criticism, compares others. I think she sees Nat as like, you're this annoying little shithead.
You know, I just heard something in my head for Natalie. Chantal, you don't like your sister for 2 reasons. One, because you can't BS her and you can't manipulate her. I just hearing from Natalie, she's a straight shooter. Your sister will tell you the truth. She'll tell you the truth. She does tell you the truth to your face. She won't go behind your back and she's not scared of you. And that intimidates you about your sister. Your sister is not intimidated by you. And you know you can't, word your way around your sister. And those who scam, those who lie, those who manipulate, those who look for targets to manipulate and lie to and get something from, there's nothing that they hate more than someone that they can't do harm to. Those who have that inner strength, those that have that ability to see through a scammer. So because Natalie can see through Chantal, Chantal looks down on her sister. Absolutely down on her. Like, you only feel that way, Chantal, because you know you can't get anything out of your sister. Nothing at all. The baby talk, the lies, she can see through it all.
Who I don't trust. You're always playing games with me. You say one thing, you're manipulating others. You do this, you do that. It feels like a lot of projection as well from Foodie here. Allegedly conspiracy.
I'm also hearing something else, Chantal. I'm hearing that you don't like the fact that your sister has contact with your mother. And you don't like the idea of your sister talking to your mother and getting in her ear and making her think about the things that you do to your mother. The manipulation, the lies. Like, Natalie is a voice of reason, and you don't want a voice of reason going to your mother. Maybe talking some sense into her and breaking that spell that you had over your mom. You want to be able to be the puppet master to your mom. Well, the strings got cut. When you screwed over your mom, With the apartment, the strings got cut. Like that was the final straw. You have yet to realize that, but you will.
Whatever. Like she's like also in La La Land. It's like I got like whenever Chantal wants a power trip, I feel like that's when she goes to Nat because like she just wants a power trip. That's honestly what it feels like. Whenever she needs a power trip, she just goes and she talks to Natalie, which isn't healthy, Chantal. Not healthy at all. Okay, so how does Nat feel about Chantal? Pain principle gets off on others' pain and suffering. Enjoys seeing other people fail or not succeed. Likes to feel superior as if they're winning. Hmm. Also, submarining. Resurfaces out of nowhere, finds their way back without an apology or explanation, tries to reconnect out of boredom or recent breakup. Wow, Chantal. These cards never disappoint. I love this deck. And then we also have taxing, demanding, high maintenance, holier art than thou attitude, unrealistic expectations, bratty, diva mentality, acts helpless. And then we also have cold hearted. So, dismisses feelings of others, does not have the capacity nor wants to understand where others are coming from. So, Chantal thinks Natalie's always out to get her. You're going over this way. You're screwing me over that way. Like you're always trying to get me to do things. Like she always thinks that Natalie has an ulterior motive whenever they're talking.
The irony of that. The person who has ulterior motives that wants to manipulate the family into giving her what she wants, pointing the finger at another family member saying, you're the manipulator, you're the puppet master, when it's her. She's angry at Natalie for essentially acting like a block and a barrier from Chantal getting her way with her mother and her family. Because, Natalie's a wall that will not be moved, no matter what Chantal does.
Natalie over here always feels like Chantal, you want me to be hurt. You're taxing. You're hard to deal with. I'm drained after I talk about you. You're always coming back up whenever we think you're gone, and then you come back, and then you're gone, and then you come back, and you just don't care about people.
No.
I don't think she likes Chantal. I think she thinks Chantal is a drain on her and her family and their mental and emotional needs and their time and energy. And it's just like it enough is enough. When do I get to say you're hurting us and you're hurting us bad?
And I would just like to say this, and I've said it before, and I don't know if Foodie heard me. I think maybe she heard the words, but she didn't listen to the words. Chantal, everybody, anywhere in the world has the right that if they are around someone who is hurtful, who is causing them pain, everyone has the right to shut the door and say no more. It doesn't matter if it's family or not. If you are someone and you're around a person or a group of people that are hurting you, you have the right to say no. And I'm thinking of something right now, and the timing of this is just impeccable. And I'm passing this out to everyone, just something to remember because it's important. In life, every person will receive many gifts. Some of those gifts will be positive, and some of those gifts will be negative. So if someone is trying to give you a gift of negativity, you don't have to accept. If they're trying to hand the gift to you, don't even take it from their hands. You are allowed to say, no, I don't want that gift. You can keep it if you want, but I don't want it. You are free to say, no, it's not for me. I'd rather not. So Chantal, whenever you're around your family, every single time, That's all you do is throw them gifts of negativity in big, huge gift boxes. You keep throwing the negativity at them, expecting them to accept it. And it's been going on for years. And the family has gotten to the point where they're like, no more. We do not want these gifts. We do not accept them. We're shutting the door now. We want peace. We want quiet. We want solitude. We want happiness. And every single time you come home from wherever it is you've been in the world, you don't bring gifts of happiness. You don't bring gifts of positivity. You don't bring gifts of compassion. You don't bring gifts of caring. Your gifts are selfish and they are toxic. And the family is tired of getting sick from accepting your gifts and from being around you. And the pain level has reached to the ceiling and they just can't take any more gifts from you. It's a too high cost.
And that's kind of what it feels like how Natalie's feeling about Chantal. And that's how Chantal feels about Natalie. Like these two do not get along because each one, Chantal's a taxing individual and
Yeah.
Chantal believes Natalie's out to get her. And I'm like, well, Chantal, if you threw your alleged, I mean, Chantal, when you throw your sister in a dryer and you turn it on, people might hold a grudge over that. Alleged. So let's take a look next at Chantal and her aunt Phyllis. So let's take a look. How is Chantal and her aunt Phyllis feeling? What's that relationship like? Because last I heard, the whole family was not getting along. Her and Aunt Phil were fighting. So what's kind of going on there between Chantal and Aunt Phil? Also, when I'm thinking back to that Queen of Cups, why do I feel like Chantal really hurt their mom? Like, her and Natalie share a mom. They do not share a dad. They share a mom. And it feels like the mom was really, really hurt, and Natalie took that personally. She holds a grudge. So let's just take a look here. Chantal, Phyllis, energy in between. Chantal, Phyllis, energy in between. Okay, so Chantal, oh boy. Chantal's told Phyllis, yeah, I'm not coming back. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just full and going wherever. Phyllis over here is like, she feels like she has got something else that she's really focused on. Maybe this is a new partner. Maybe this is a new thing. Because here in between the two of them with the Knight of Pentacles, Chantal has asked her for money. I don't know if Phyllis has given her money. I hear yes. I don't know how much. I feel like there's contingency plans on if you come back, maybe we'll give you more. But Phyllis, it feels like she's pretty staunch and like, I love you. We will see what you're doing, but you need to come back first. Why is this? Yeah, because she needs to see that this marriage is actually done. That's why this is. It's like, Chantal, your marriage needs to be done. It's done. It's over with. I do not know what manipulation Chantal has been giving Phyllis, but from what I'm seeing here, to this, Chantal, I think Phyllis sees a lot of herself in Chantal, and she's like, I don't want you to go through the same issues that I've had in the past. And now that Chantal's been talking about, well, I'm breaking up with him, and I think Phyllis has sent money to help her get out of this. However, from a financial influence here, Phyllis is very much like, I don't have much to give you. I can't say much. But there's also a sense here of she's super unhappy that Chantal, you need to get out of there. You need to leave. This is Chantal's last time that she will ever be giving money, because it feels like Phyllis hasn't given her a lot. I don't think she's given her a lot. Maybe like 200. Maybe it doesn't feel. I want to say it's between like 400. Like somewhere around 400 maybe that she's given Chantal to come back, but Chantal hasn't come back yet, and Phyllis is getting like, where are you? Where are you? You gotta leave. Because hopes and fears, this is bad luck, bad opportunity, bad investments.
Of course, it's bad luck, bad opportunity. That's Chantal. Anybody giving her money, it's a bad luck, bad opportunity. Those people will not get a return on their money. They won't get the money paid back. It's I'm just going to say it. Chantal is an active raging addict. And her active raging addictions rule her life. They rule her every thought. That's all she thinks about. That's all she cares about is satisfying those addictive urges. And the thing about addiction is when it comes to addiction, there's never a period of satisfaction or anything being enough. Your addiction is not going to be inside of you going, okay, you've given enough to us today. We don't need any more. No, addiction always wants more. It always demands more. And the longer it goes on, the more severe it becomes, the more it needs, the more it craves. So you're forever stuck on a hamster wheel of trying to satisfy it. And here's the thing, you never will. You'll never satisfy your addiction all the way fully. There's always going to be a want for more. Chantal's got several raging addictions, none of them in recovery. She's got an addiction for money. She's got an addiction for men. She's got an addiction for food. She's got an addiction for attention, possibly party favors. So you've got addictions stacked on top of each other, and each one of them demand a lot because she's an extreme person, is Chantal. Whatever she likes, she starts out liking it, and then she becomes obsessed by it, and then it becomes an addiction. Like she takes it to the extreme side of the scale, and each one takes on a life of its own, and it goes into her list of priorities. So you give her money, it's already spent. It will never be saved. It'll never be put towards the things that she needs to do. It's all about what she wants to do. So if Aunt Phyllis has given her money, then Aunt Phyllis should know exactly where that money is probably going to be going. And that's on her.
Phyllis is like, you either come back or I'm not sending anything anymore. This is like, once Chantal hits soil, and if she heads back or asks for more money, Phyllis is done because the unseen obstacle.
Well, she will though. She's going to go. Chantal is desperate for more. It's crazy. Chantal makes decent money on YouTube. Like she makes between $2,000, $3,000 a month just on YouTube. That's not even counting the stuff that people send her on PayPal. Holy crap, man. I mean, with 2 or 3,000 plus PayPal, that's more than enough to get you by if you plan your money right. But for Chantal, it's not enough because of her addictions, because of her compulsiveness and her impulsiveness. And as soon as she gets money in hand, it's already spent. And anybody that gives her money should know that going into it. They're not going to get the money back. If it's a loan, it'll never be paid. That money is just, it's already gone. The moment it hits her pocket, it is gone. It's gone, period.
Here, Knight of Swords, Chantal's going to keep coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back.
Yep, and she's going to keep coming back until the door is shut in her face. And the person in question says, I've got no more money. I'm broke. Or I'm done giving it to you. Don't come back. You've got to completely lock her out to stop her from financially bleeding you dry. She pushes people to that point.
It's like, I want more, because there's also potential legal issues here, again, that Phyllis knows about, because the negative influence here is the Two of Swords. I do not know. Phyllis has a soft spot for Chantal, but with the Two of Swords reversed here as well, it's like there's a decision that is going to be made between the two of these that nobody wants to make, but it needs to be made. Because again, the negative, what's going for this situation, Chantal's not going. Chantal's not leaving when she said that she was. Someone's stuck. Someone's not moving. Birds on the ground. Nothing's going on. Because here in the past, you've burned me once before. I'm going to give you one more shot. And now here in the future, the Queen of Pentacles. Phyllis and Kim, so Chantal's mother, Kim. Phyllis and Kim, because that's Kim's card, the Queen of Pentacles. I do feel like Phyllis is given money, but it feels like Phyllis and Kim are now coming together and be like, can't do this anymore.
I think Aunt Phyllis's problem with Chantal, like, I know that's her niece, and I know she loves her niece. But I think one of the big hurdles that Aunt Phyllis is going to have to deal with is she's projecting onto Chantal. She might see a younger self in Chantal, but she's got to come to the realization that Chantal is Chantal and she is herself. Like that, like they're not exactly alike. And Phyllis has had her life, Chantal has had her life, and Phyllis needs to stop projecting herself onto Chantal, because while she's doing that, she's making excuses for Chantal's behavior. She's saying, "Oh, I went through that, and like I was young once." Well, Chantal's not young. This is not some 16-year-old we're talking about. We're talking about a 41-year-old woman that is completely out of control. At one point, do you stop projecting onto somebody and come to the conclusion that they're an out of control person that needs to be corrected somehow, needs to be stopped? Like, and Phyllis just needs to understand that Chantal is her own person, and stop covering up what's going on with Chantal by this projection of self onto another self.
I'm just going to grab some clarifiers for this one, because this is a little bit more, this is interesting, because you're at the center. Yeah, I'm reaping what I've sown. Why is this? I don't know what Chantal's been saying to Phyllis, but it does seem to be like she's told a story to Phyllis. It's like, we want you to be good. We want you to have fun. We want you to be okay. We want you to get some guidance to get out of there from material influence. So I also think that Chantal's been playing up the health card, being like, I'm really, really sick. Like, I need to go see a doctor. I need to get home. Like, things are really bad. However, the negative the hopes and fears. I don't know what Phyllis is given. Phyllis is maybe given off money for health treatment, or mental health treatment, or for pills of some sort to help with the brain pills and stuff. However, the unseen obstacle here is that there's big change, sudden transformation, reevaluation of life path. There's information coming to Aunt Phyllis that's going to make her rethink everything that she's just done for Chantal, because there's secrets between the two of them that are being held. With the lock, the secrets, withheld energy, guarded truth that has not been told, and Chantal might have to say something, but I feel like Phyllis might end up having to say something because of what Chantal's told her, and the stories aren't lining up. Because again, yeah, the negative in what's going for the situation, it's around and round and round and round. This is the ending and the beginning of a soul journey for this relationship. Again, evolution, cycles, endings, and beginnings. So it's the ending of one form of this and going to the next. Here in the past, these two are a continuous cycle of one another. Again, Phyllis sees a lot of Chantal Phyllis sees a lot of herself in Chantal.
Yep. And Chantal has this nasty habit of, she'll walk up to somebody, she'll figure out how much you have, how much she can take from you, but she'll also figure into the equation, does this person care for me? And the more you care for Chantal, the more she'll try to take advantage of that care. And Aunt Phyllis does care for Chantal, just as her mother cares for Chantal. And notice that she takes advantage of both women. She takes advantage of that feeling of love. Rather than cherish it, she'll use it as a manipulating tool.
So she wants to you she wants to bring the whole family together. This is super interesting. I'm gonna grab another clarifier for this. What's this kind of going on here in the future between Phyllis and Chantal? Can we get another card here, please? Why is Phyllis protecting Chantal, or why are we trying to protect some sort of relationship? Why are we trying to protect? There is something here of Phyllis trying to protect spiritual protection, physical copies. There's something that it feels like Phyllis has from Chantal or for Chantal, and she's protecting that for her. Physical copies, written down things, paper trails, like we get one more thing here as well with corrupt politics, corrupt court officials. Is she helping all alleged for entertainment purposes only? Is Phyllis going to be helping Chantal like put together some paperwork when it comes to money transactions, stuff with the government, when it comes to bankruptcy fraud, allegedly, maybe stuff with Natter, mental health evaluations? Like, there's something going on here where I feels like she's trying to protect Chantal even from herself. Is she the one that writes up, you need to get 5150 to all alleged for entertainment purposes only? I don't know. But this is what it's kind of feeling like for me. It's like, I almost wonder if Phyllis is the one who helps her get some mental health help when things really start going downhill. Because again, I feel like things are about to go downhill for food.
And I have to wonder, like, if Chantal has legal issues that are incoming, is she going to use her mental health as a way to kind of get out of that? Because I don't think that's going to work.
If you don't believe me, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. All right, so let's get the relationship cards going. So let's get 3 cards for how does Chantal feel about Phyllis, her aunt. How does Chantal feel about her aunt? How does Phyllis feel about Chantal? Okay. So how does Chantal feel about Phyllis? So we have cold-hearted. So dismisses feelings of others, does not have the capacity nor the understanding where others are coming from. I think she thinks Phyllis doesn't understand where she's coming from, even though Phyllis has been there, done that, got the badge, and she's got the battle scars from it. I truly do believe that. Foodie thinks that this is just a me thing, not a you thing. Phyllis has lived quite a life, it feels like. Something very similar to Chantal. But Chantal doesn't want to see it. Chantal doesn't want to understand that she's not the only one. She wants to be a special snowflake. Because the other two, she feels like, Phyllis, you're just following the crowd. You're following what the community says. You're following what mom says. You're weak. You give in too easily. You're weak-minded. You don't stand up to authority. You break when you're under pressure. Like, she sees Phyllis as a weak link to the whole thing. Also, she sees Phyllis as like, you only show up when you want to. Like, resurfaces out of nowhere, finds their way back without an apology or an explanation, tries to reconnect out of boredom or recent breakup.
Sounds like Foodie is projecting herself onto Aunt Phyllis. Like, all these things that Chantal might be feeling about Aunt Phyllis apply to her. You know, Chantal only shows up when she needs something. All of those apply to Chantal.
I think I do not. It feels like Chantal has been making the rounds, all alleged for entertainment purposes only. She made the rounds with Nat. Nat let people know. Then Phyllis contacted Chantal, just check in on her, and then I feel like Chantal's like, what? Because mom told you to check in on me. Now you're contacting me. She's like, why are you coming back around? What? Because mom told you? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
So it sounds like Chantal is irritated because the family members are talking to each other, they're communicating, which families do. They talk to each other, but Chantal is an abusive person, and abusive people, they like to isolate their targets. And that's a common trait with abusive people. They like to find a target, they like to isolate the target, they like to cut off their target from family and friends so that they have the most control over that person and they can manipulate and hurt that person. And once again, here we are with the family. It notice it's the same tactics that Chantal used with Salah and his family. She wanted to isolate Salah. She wanted to keep him away from his family. She didn't like family members talking to him. So with her own family, she doesn't want the family members talking to each other and comparing notes about things that have been said, things that have been done, and finding out the lies that have been told, and to who, and when, and where. She doesn't like that line of communication going on because if they have it, she can't manipulate as well.
How does Phyllis see Chantal? She sees Chantal as generous. Generous with time or money, enjoys treating partners, taking care of others, spoils loved ones, shows affection through material things. A greedy pig. I think she sees Chantal as like, you got all this wealth, you got all this stuff, you got all this money. Like, why do you need money from us? Like, again, I feel like Phyllis follows Chantal's channel more than what she might say. She also sees, how does she see Chantal? Uses people to overcome pain and heartbreak from past relationship. User in love with the idea of being in love.
And it's interesting, Sunburst, that you're doing this tarot reading now. And yet, when Neo Tarot did her reading on Foodie Beauty, that same a card almost like that came up in her reading, the rebound card. So yourself and Neo, like you're both saying the same thing. Like, and I've said it that Salah was just a rebound. Like as soon as she got done with Natter, she was moving on to somebody else, but it wasn't real, true love. It was just a rebound that went on for 3 years, and there was no love there. No, there was no good personal benefit. It was just being with somebody to be with somebody. And I'm hearing a saying in my head that I've heard before, that in order to get over someone, you got to get under someone else. Although Chantal never got under Salah. Same principle though. In order to get past Natter, she had to be with another person. And being with another person the way that she did it, it just led to a lot of personal disaster.
Rebounds. Again. Also, she sees Chantal as orbiting, keeps tabs on others out of boredom, curiosity, or loneliness, likes the idea of what could have been, so watches others secretly. In the conversations with Chantal that Phyllis has Nader come up?
I bet he has. Because Chantal needs to talk to someone. She can't keep anything to herself. She can't even keep her illnesses to herself. Why wouldn't she talk to Aunt Phyllis? Of all the people in the family, I feel she talks to Aunt Phyllis the most. And since that's true, why wouldn't she talk about Natter? If Natter, she's got Natter on the brain, she's going to talk to Aunt Phyllis. I'm sure Aunt Phyllis knows a great deal about her interactions with Natter and the interactions that have never stopped with Natter. Aunt Phyllis knows things.
All legend for entertainment purposes only. Because what I'm getting here is that there's been a conversation that Phyllis and Chantal has said, and I just get this feeling that they've discussed Nads, Mr. Green Peen and Lasheen, and I wonder if Phyllis knows that all legend for entertainment purposes only, that Chantal's been sending Nads money and has been helping him out and been paying for his commissary and doing XYZ things for him.
And that might be a reason why Chantal's been grifting so hard, is not that she needs money for herself. is that she needs money for all of her sugar babies that she's insisting on holding on to. She needs money for Salah. She needs money for Natter. Like she's not making $20,000-$30,000 a month. Her income is going down. But yet she's got these two sugar babies that she won't let go of, and they both require payment. Remember what I told y'all? Club Natter is very exclusive. There's only a few people that are let in at a time. And in order to be a member, you got to keep paying your monthly dues. And so she does too. So maybe a lot of that grifting money went to him, not into getting her out of Syria. She can get out of Syria anytime she wants. It's just that she's got to, throw some money at Nads to make him happy and maybe to keep his mouth shut because I'm sure he's got things on Chantal. He's got evidence, text messages, all of that he could bring to the internet, and Chantal will pay money to keep people quiet, to keep her fantasy Delulu world going just a little bit longer.
And she's like, Chantal, I can't tell. It's like she knows that she can't tell Chantal to stop because Chantal needs to figure that out for herself because Phyllis has been there, done that, gotten the badge to prove it. And she, like, so she knows it, but it's hard. And it's like she knows all these things about Chantal, but can't really talk about it for fear of Chantal running the opposite direction because that's just who Chantal is. Again, alrighty. So next we're going to take a look at probably the one everyone's most interested in, and that's good old stepdad. So we're going to take a look at stepdad. How does stepdad feel? What's the relationship like between stepdad and Chantal? So let's take a look. Let's take a look. What's going on here? How does Chantal's stepdad see her? What's that relationship like between the two of them? What's going on here? What's the relationship like between the two of them? Chantal, stepdad, energy in between the two of them. These two cannot see eye to eye. Chantal's trying to steamroll in this relationship while dad's like, you've backstabbed, you betrayed, I'm done with you. Because the energy in between the two of them is that neither one can trust each other. Both are depressed, both are anxious, both are just sitting here waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's like both of them are just waiting for. These two are very similar in how they communicate and how they work through issues and problems. Allegedly. Because seeing this here, we have Chantal's stepdad, Ten of Swords. He's just done it over this relationship. It's like, you've backstabbed me. You've betrayed me. I'm done with you. I've been beaten down so many times. There's been so many things going on between the two of them. Chantal over here is trying to steamroll this whole situation, trying to steamroll him. I wonder if she thinks that to get to mom, I need to get through you. And neither one of them are budging because both are like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't know. There seems like there was a massive fight due to anxiety that occurred between the two. Why is this? Because of lies, deceit, deception. You're trying to do one thing, but then you say and you go and do another. This is also a vie for control, a vie for what we're putting out there, our manifestations, and them coming in a little bit weird and wonky.
I'm also feeling like with stepdad's energy, because he is the stepdad, and yes, he's been with Chantal's mom for quite a bit still. He is the stepdad, so he kind of feels at a disadvantage with Chantal. Like, I am her stepfather, not her biological father, and this is the child of my wife, and I don't want to overstep boundaries. I can't lay down the law completely because it is the daughter of my wife, and I've got to let my wife handle this because that is her mother and I am the stepfather. So he kind of feels like his hands are tied, like there's not a whole lot I can do here. Like there's only so much that he can do as a stepdad.
Oh boy, these two are very similar in just their communication styles and their energies. Chantal is a little bit of a domineering personality, a type A personality. Dad's just as much of a type A personality. These two have met their match in stubbornness as well. Because again, lies, deceit, deception, not telling the entire truth. From a material sense, someone broke contracts. Someone said, I'm going to do this. Someone, I'm going to do that. There's Chantal breaking contracts, breaking agreements, word of mouth. You effed around and you found out. You're also, this turned into a massive fight about money. You owe us money. You owe us money. Don't make us go and sue you.
Oh, Chantal, did you borrow money? Or does this have to do with the apartment? I mean, we pretty much all guessed to get the apartment that you left after a couple of weeks, somebody had to be the co-signer. I mean, it would make sense. You got a bankruptcy on your record, and any landlord would say, well, I don't know about this. Someone needs to be the co-signer. So it would make sense if your mom or your stepdad or both were the co-signers. They put their credit and their income on the line for you, and you screwed them over. And that's why they're feeling a certain kind of way right now, and they're not going to be fooled again.
Because the hopes and fears, both of them have, both of, the hopes and fears here as well. Someone wants to try to be the winner. Both of them can't let go of their ego, can't let go of their pride. And again, will I say that a lot of this is brought on by Foodie's actions? Kind of. Will I say this is also brought on by our stepfather's actions? Yes. Both of them are at fault for this. Both of them just cannot meet eye to eye. They are two people cut from the same cloth. They are very similar, which is why I don't think they get along well, because both of them like to have strict rules and they're the ones that lay down the law, not the other way around. Because the unseen obstacle, both of them are vying for control. The emperor, both of them want the seat, both of them want control, both of them are trying to be the man of the house. The negative influence here as well, the Page of Swords. Someone's threatening to leak information. Someone's allegedly, I think, trying to say blackmail. Someone is trying to put something out there. There are talks about going after somebody legally. Allegedly, conspiracy, whatever. Because what's going for this situation? Both of them are naive. It's like we need to come to the end of, like, both of them are trying to start something new, but it's dead in the water. They're both also very both emotionally immature, which leads them to just go round and round and round in circles. Here in the past, we've avoided complete and utter disaster before, and we've had to kind of rebuild. And here in the future, they're trying to build up a new relationship, but it's also like, where are we going to go? It's up to these two of where do they want to go. Let's just get some clarifiers here at the center of it. These two do not want to they're like, let's take out the old trash, let's take out the old stuff and maybe try and have a conversation. Why? Because we need to get creative. We want to have Christmases together. Kim still loves her daughter. He's like, I will try and keep you around, but we're getting pretty close. But also somebody's getting ready to cut somebody off here as well, because from a material influence, why do I feel like there's a piece of mail coming to mom and dad's house and it's not going to be a fun piece of mail for somebody? And somebody's going to find something out, or somebody already found something out, and they haven't let mom know yet, and they're just trying to figure out what the frickety frick frack is going on. If this hasn't happened already, this might be happening soon. Because the hopes and fears, something's about to be exposed. This is also Leo energy, with the sun being up, loud, proud, I'm in my feels type of energy. Because the unseen obstacle to this whole thing, again, is like they have this continuous cycle, this continuous loop of them both trying to vie for control, both trying to be the heads of the household, both trying to get one over on one another. Because the negative influence here is they both love, like, again, I truly do believe there is love between the two of them. I just feel like it's very complicated. It's very messy. Again, the stepdads raised Chantal for quite a long time. If I'm not mistaken, she met stepdad at like 5, maybe earlier, 3. I mean, I have a stepdad, and I met my stepdad at like 4 or 5, and he's like wonderful. He's strict, yeah, but I know he loves me, and I'm pretty sure Chantal's stepdad loves her. It's a very complicated relationship, but sometimes
I mean, I just heard he loves her, but he doesn't know how to love her. Does that make sense? He cares for her, but he doesn't know how to go about loving her. She's a very difficult person to love. It's very hard to find the right way to love a difficult person. Like they make it hard. It's some people it's easy to love them. Other people it's really difficult. She's in the difficult box. She makes it hard. Like I want to love you, but you're making it a struggle.
You gotta do for the people that you love, you kind of sometimes you have to go to the extreme. You can't be soft on them anymore. Because what's going for this relationship, again, there's a lot of foundations, a lot of there's a lot of obstacles, but also they can start something new if they truly want. There's a lot of obstacles into starting something new. Because here in the past, divine protection, healing, there was something here that protected these two from things blowing up completely. And then here in the future, they just need to look deeper. There's hope here that they can have a foundational relationship. There's a lot of healing, though, that needs to occur to get to that point, though, between the two of them. All right. Her and dad are, again, I've read this so many times between the two of them, and I truly do believe that he loves her. Like, he genuinely cares and loves for her. I feel like he's the, like, out of all of them, he actually loves her the most in that family. And you know why I say that? Because he's the one that tries to hold her the most accountable. And that's what love is. It's, I want you to be the best version of you, not an unhealed version of you.
I don't think they're going to have a good relationship. She's not going to have a good relationship with her family, period, until the tower of ego that she's built around herself is completely broken. Like the last couple of readings that you did, Sunburst, and from watching also Neo Tarot, the ego is a problem. Chantal places herself above all other people, family included. She thinks that she's better than everyone else. She wants to be better than everyone else. She wants to place herself high above everyone else rather than be part of something. She wants to be above something. And this is a problem. When you want to be at the top of the mountain and you feel that everybody else is way below you, but as with a real situation, if you get to the peak of a mountain, usually the peak is very, very small. And you'll be standing there all alone. How lonely is that? It's so much more fun to be around others than to be completely by yourself. But, it's for her ego. She wants to be above rather than around everyone.
Just saying. But alas, I could be wrong. All right. So, but that's up for Chantal to be open to receiving that, and I don't think she is. So, okay, how does Chantal see her stepfather? How does Chantal see her stepfather? Okay, how does her stepfather see Chantal? All right. So, how does Chantal see her stepfather? Impetuous, impulsive, and reactive based on fear, paranoia, and anxiety, regretful actions. Opposites. Differences drive the connection further apart, cannot see eye to eye. Also, material heist. Drains others financially and uses up others' resources for their own self interest. A burden on others' resources. Lazy. How does she see her father? Her stepfather? She sees that they just can't leave. They just can't agree. She's like, fine, you go over there, I go over there. She's like, I'm done with this relationship. She's like, we can't get along. You don't agree with me, I don't agree with you. And you know what? Screw you, screw this, screw everything about this. I think also with the material heist as well, I think she has taken a lot of their money, and she's trying to be like, well, you're always about the money. You're always about the money. You're always about my money. Why? Even though I think she owes them money. And
Yep. She's also, I just heard this too. Chantal feels the most powerful when dealing with other women. But when it comes to a man, that's kind of intimidating to her. When it comes to a man that she cannot seduce or control or manipulate, when that man is a rock that will not be moved, she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know how to move that rock. She looks at that man as an obstacle to her goal of getting what she wants. She's resentful of the male presence in the house because the male presence in the house might be blocking her from being the puppet master to mom.
he's just like, you need to give this back. You can't. No. So how does her stepfather see her? Wreckage. Forces others into submission, makes others feel intimidated. Partner allows them to win because it's easier than fighting.
Yep.
Dating vendetta. Proves a point to an ex by dating someone new. A way to piss off an ex by dating someone more attractive or better.
That definitely applies to her.
Also, sentimental. Wears or keeps something of personal value of partner or ex. Refuses to let go of something their ex gave them. Seeing this, how does Chantal's stepfather see her? I think he sees her as, you're a complete wreck since this guy left you. I also think he sees her as, you can't let go of anything.
No.
You can't let go of grudges. You can't let go of emotions. You can't let go of people. You can't let go of things. And you need to wreck them on the way out. I think he sees this too, of like, you want to wreck your mother on the way out. As you're trying to get out the door, you're leaving wreckage behind you. You're leaving a trail of destruction behind you. Why do you do this? Why? I also think he sees, again, I don't know if he's been talking to Aunt Phil. Seems like Aunt Phil and him would get along actually really well. I hear yes. And I don't know if Aunt Phil has been having conversations with him, being like, yeah, this whole thing with her and that other guy. And I think he sees it as like, you just ran from one guy to the next because you wanted to get back at that person.
There's that theme of rebound again.
I think he sees it. He sees it for the him and Chantal are so damn similar. It's not even funny. Like and I truly mean that, they're very similar in motivations, in how they operate. Would I say they have the same backgrounds and things of that? No, but they're very similar in just how they operate. And so, but they're too much alike so that they're so much alike that they actually butt heads so much. And I think that's the issue, where Chantal is so unhealed she can't see it. Dad's a little bit better and can actually see, like, yeah, no, we're just too similar in some ways. So I see why she's doing things, even though we butt heads, because we're both trying to vie for control in our own ways. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here for Chantal and her dad and her mom and her stepsister and or her sister and her aunt. So if y'all enjoyed this, feel free, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your own thoughts, opinions, and conclusions down below. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you did, hype up this video. Leave a comment. Find your favorite emoji. I would really appreciate the engagement on the video, as it helps other people find it. Otherwise, if you want to book a personal reading with me or join YouTube members, you can do so using the links down below in the description box. Otherwise, I really just want to say a great big thank you to everyone who's been watching, and I hope to see you guys all in the next one. So thank you and bye.
Wonderful reading, Sunburst Tarot. Really enjoyed it. And I hope you guys have also enjoyed this react as well. Like I said, if you have never heard of Sunburst Tarot, please look down below in the description. You'll find the original link for the original video, which leads back to her entire channel and all of her wonderful content. And I want to thank you guys for watching my react, and hope to hear from you in the comments. So thanks, guys. I'm going to cut it off here and post it to YouTube, and then take me and Queen Booger off to bed. So y'all be well, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.